Hi folks. Apropos the current situation we are with coronavirus and the worldwide hunt for a vaccine for it, I thought you might be interested in how a Scotsman changed the world of medicine and our lives 92 years ago. The man in question is Sir Alexander Fleming, and he was born near Darvel, which is in Ayrshire, in 1881. He was the third child of 4 children to a farmer. He went to local schools, but then earned himself a 2-year scholarship to Kilmarnock Academy before moving to London to study at the Royal Polytechnic Institution. He then gained a medical degree at the St Mary's Hospital Medical School, where he subsequently became assistant bacteriologist in the research department. Now, during World War I, Fleming served with the Royal Army Medical Corps, and he witnessed the terrible deaths of many soldiers from sepsis or blood poisoning resulting from infected wounds. Now at that time, antiseptics were being used to treat infected wounds, and these often made the injuries worse. Fleming did a lot of research on this whilst he is working in the trenches, including doing various tests and creating a little laboratory thing for himself. And he wrote an article for the famous medical journal called The Lancet, describing how antiseptics were killing more soldiers in France than the infections themselves. So after the war, Fleming continued his investigation into antibacterial substances, and by 1928 he'd gained a reputation as a brilliant researcher. Then, in early September of 1928, Fleming had just returned from holiday to his laboratory, and he noticed that a culture that had been on a glass slide, amongst quite a few of them, which had been left to one side on his bench before he went away. He noticed that this culture was contaminated with a fungus, and that all the bacteria surrounding the fungus had been destroyed, and he wondered how that had happened. So Fleming took the fungus and grew it in a pure culture, and he found that it produced a substance that killed a number of disease-causing bacteria. He called this substance penicillin, and it went on to be developed to become the world's first antibiotic. Now, the discovery of penicillin changed the world of medicine enormously. With its development, infections that were previously extremely severe or often fatal, things like pneumonia, meningitis, septicemia, could now be treated. Prior to the discovery of penicillin, even simple injuries or cuts that you would get in your home or simply walking about could be fatal if they became infected. Soldiers injured in the field of battle would often die of infected wounds rather than of the wound itself, and yet now with penicillin could easily be saved. Fleming was reported to have said of his discovery, "One sometimes finds what one is not looking for. When I woke up just after dawn on September the 28th, 1928, I certainly didn't plan to revolutionise all medicine by discovering the world's first antibiotic. But I guess that was exactly what I did." Penicillin has saved millions of lives since its discovery, and it's probably true to say that many of us would not be here today if it hadn't been for the work of Scotsman Sir Alexander Fleming. So I hope you enjoyed this wee historical tidbit. As usual, please feel free to comment on it and I'll try to reply. If you enjoyed it, please share it with your friends. As ever, please ensure that you are keeping safe during these very difficult times. And until we meet again, I wish you all the very best from Scotland.